I didn't think I was going to be here today doing this. Have my diary all sorted out, but anyway, things happen, and here we are. Thank you for coming today. I'd like to address some of the issues raised in the media over the last few days regarding the decisions of AFL Northern Territory in regard to NT Thunder. One of the reasons that we exist, AFLNT, is to ensure our kids in the Territory get a chance to play in the AFL. In 2010 we had 27 players on the list. Today there are 13. The figures don't lie. Something in our system is not right. Our job is to ensure the game is played in every region and community in the Territory, and to get our kids into programs that can give them opportunities to go as far as their talent will allow. The Thunder program is dear to my heart. I was the first CEO back in 2008 and worked hard with many others to set Thunder up. I didn't think that was going to happen either. But we can't stand back and watch the program and go backwards. Go backwards and not deliver what we all want. Territory kids having the same opportunities every other state and territory to play the game at the highest level. If we keep doing the same thing, the numbers will continue to drop. Something about our system isn't working. The Thunder in the NEFL was putting resources in the wrong place and not allowing enough kids to get into programs and the opportunity to play at the highest level. So Thunder has not been wound up or dying. We are changing the program to better achieve our goal of getting more players into the AFL system. We have a plan to get more talent on the list through increased funding to community clubs, increased funding to our underage programs, and increased focus on underage programs, increased investment in our efforts to engage remote players, and closer alignment with the AFL clubs and community. My message to all aspiring young footballers in the Territory is our refreshed pathway will provide great opportunities for you at the next level, and this we are committed to and focused on. My message to remote talent is we are coming, get ready. My message to all our supporters and stakeholders is stay faithful, and we'll be on the front foot soon to explain what's next. My message to AFL clubs is make the effort. Don't be lazy. Get up out of your cosy Melbourne office and get to know and understand our talent. The rewards are there for those who put the effort in, and be prepared to look beyond the NAB League, the TAC Cup, the under-18s. Finally, my message to all the Thunder players and supporters, volunteers, sponsors and members, thank you for all your efforts. Once again, Thunder's not dying. We're just changing up the programs to hopefully get some better results. Thank you.
All right, Stuart, so where are the options? I mean, you know, we've lost our NEFL team, we lost our VFLW team. Where are the options now?
Yeah, so what you're talking to there, Gray, is the pathway into the top level. Yeah. So we're in a position, as I said there, to talk to increased focus on community clubs, community talent, increased focus on our underage programs, and also remote player access. You know, so we can't talk to the revised program in total here today. Hopefully we'll be able to do that shortly.
Stuart, now that there's no representative team per se, isn't that a backward step?
Well, look, it depends on how you look at it. You know, it is disappointing that we don't have a representative team, but our focus is on getting young Territorians onto the next level and into lists. So we will reallocate some of the funding that was into those VFLW and NEFL teams to focus on getting that job done.
So was that scoping study that we did just a waste of time now?
No, not at all. The scoping study, which will be released shortly, we'll talk to some of these issues that we're addressing in this strategy.
Was that a study done in 2017? Was it the audit? No.
No. So we through NT government, we got some grant funding to do a scoping study on can we have an AFL team here in the Territory, and that study was looking at if the opportunity arose, what do we need to do to get ready and have our own side.
And look, there's been a lot of rumours going around that we're going to be acting as sort of a feeder area for the Gold Coast Suns now. Could you provide some comment on that?
Yeah, unfortunately I can't comment on that at this stage. Yep.
The NT government this morning, Laura Moss, said that she hasn't yet been informed by yourself or by AFL about what's happened here. They invest $300,000 a year. Why were they blindsided?
Yeah, so, well, we're all blindsided to start with. And we've been in touch with the Minister's office last night and this morning, and I've got a meeting with the Chief Minister and hopefully Minister Moss this afternoon.
So you're all blindsided?
Absolutely.
So you are angry about this leak?
I'm not angry, I'm disappointed because when news like this breaks, where you don't have control of the messaging, people get impacted. I'm talking about players and staff. So that's really disappointing because it's not how we do things here.
So where's it all gone wrong, Chewie? I mean, in 2008, as you said, you know, all these grandiose plans were going to get more players in the AFL, a great pathway, and now it's gone. Is it all about this stuff? About
yeah, let's talk about that at the start. We had 6 objectives at the start for the team, which related to being a high-performing team, high profile, looking after our players, and winning games and getting draftees. So if you look at across all those measures over the 10 years, there's been some fantastic results, especially early. But as we look at the drafting numbers, if we want to focus on that, you can see the trends there. The trends there, we're not getting them through. So our job is to provide a pathway and improve that and get more players on lists. So I think what's happened is at the time, that was a good spot for Thunder. If you look at the stats, there was 5 players drafted in 2010, 2011. So
on Gray's point about funding, how much of it is
funding does factor in. You know, we invest a lot of money into our 2 teams, and I guess if you're looking at it really from a business perspective, you're going, where's the return? So, and we're saying we think we can get a better return, and the return being players on lists by investing in underage programs, community football, getting remote players in.
If NT Thunder, did perhaps better than what they did this year, would this be happening?
My guess is yes. Because, like I said, I'll come back to our focus on getting people on lists.
There was an audit undertaken into Thunder towards the end of 2017. Yep. What were the results of that audit?
Oh, you're testing my memory here, but it did highlight that the Thunder wasn't achieving some of its objectives, if you like, which we tried to then address, but we've been unable to do so. Hence, the decision that's been taken.
And Stuart, the other thing, other staff and the players. Have you spoken to the players yet? Or?
Yeah. So if we work through the last 18 hours, the news breaks. We get across it, working with media, get a media release out, and we caught up with our staff this morning and our talent teams, and we'll catch up with the players this afternoon. That's the earliest opportunity we've been able to get in front of them.
So what happens with the staff? I mean, all the staff that has been allocated to work for Thunder, they'll move back into the AFLNT? Or?
Absolutely, yeah. There'll be a couple of changes, obviously, with the reduction in activity in that space. But I'm not in a position to talk to that right now, Gray. I think there's a bit of process to work through.
And I know you didn't want to provide comment on Gold Coast Suns in particular, but I guess the next step is to build a strong connection with an AFL club. Is that right? Absolutely.
So one of the key platforms of our refreshing of our programs, if you like, is getting closer to AFL clubs. We want them to know our talent, understand our talent, and take a bit more of a risk. Clubs have become risk adverse. They'll go for the safe option. Come and get to know it, understand the risk, and then work your way through and back it in.
And I guess because we do produce such great players, and Gold Coast Suns are a bit of a sinking ship, there's no denying that. So we could boost them. It is an idea.
Absolutely, yep. If that's how it rolls out, if there's more an opportunity for us to get more players on lists, that's a good result for us.
So is that a better idea, having a team like Gold Coast, as has been flagged in the paper today, taking our players opposed to having our own team?
Yeah, potentially. I can't make comment at this stage.
What happens now to a territory team? Do we still look at that idea?
I think so. I think in due course we'll get the findings of that report out, and I think I'll just make the point too that again, Thunder's not being wound up, right? We're changing our programs. So if in the fullness of time, or there's opportunities to have our team back again, we'll be looking really closely at it. That's for sure.
If it hadn't been wound up, it's had to be wound down a bit.
We're resetting our programs, Gray.
Wound down.
It depends how you look at it.
NT Thunder anymore.
That's right.
So it's
no. One second, stop. That's not right. There is NT Thunder, We're just not running the NEFL team and the VFLW side. Our programs will remain strong and focus on getting talent into the top level.
I'm interested in how you say you now want more respect and more focus from AFL clubs. Well, wasn't that supposed to happen when we had Thunder?
All right, so I didn't say that. What I said is we need to closely align ourselves with AFL clubs so they get to know our talent. And let me finish. So what happened when we started, they did.
Yeah. That's
they
right,
did take the players. That's right, yeah.
But that's what I'm saying, what's happened since?
Oh, you'd have to ask the clubs why they haven't got to our talent. I think it's quite, it's obvious to me that appetite for our talent's waned, for whatever reasons, they'll tell you that. And also I think one of the other factors is, our head office has spent a lot of money on the Eastern Seaboard, which I think's impacted us a little as well.
Do the NEFL players think this is because they did get the wooden spoon this year?
Are
they feeling guilty?
I hope they don't. But they may. And we'll talk about that tonight with them and see what their view is. There'll be some upset people. A lot of people have put a lot of hard work into NT Thunder over the years, and it's dear to their heart. And if you'll hear it, our presentation night a week or two ago, you would have seen that. So this, once again, this is a particularly difficult decision, not one taken lightly. And with my connection through territory footy, from playing at Wanderers through to heading away and coming back, particularly difficult.
Just on your comments about the funding going to the Eastern Seaboard, what does it say about AFL's leadership that they've prioritised that over the Northern Territory?
I don't agree with that premise that they've prioritised it. This is just a reality that they've been supporting their strategy to grow the game on the Eastern Seaboard. We're working really closely with head office around our approach, and I'll take the opportunity to say head office haven't told us to do anything. This is people here on the board and executive saying we've got to change things. If we don't change things, that number 13, what would that look like in 3 years?
How will you go if the NT government choose to redirect their funding? I guess Michael Gunner was pretty strong in the paper this morning talking about... Yeah.
Look, I've got that meeting with the Chief Minister this afternoon, and we'll work through those decisions about their funding and what the new pathway may look like.
And I just wanted to ask, with the sad, footy news going on today in the Territory, Willie Rioli, what were your thoughts when you heard that news?
Oh, look, I don't know enough about it, to be honest. I mean, Willie's a fantastic young man, doing great things. I prefer not to comment at this stage and just let the processes work their way through.
And still, just one more thing. Now we haven't got a NEFL team, we've got a VFLW team. What are the chances of an NTFL team playing a team from the Sandful or Waffle?
Oh, let's not get ahead of ourselves, Gray. We've got a bit to work through. But, rep footy, we've got rep footy starting again in the first weekend in October when we've got our regional challenge with all our teams coming in to play each other. So we'd love to see more inter-territory rep footy, and who knows what the future looks like in terms of rep footy that you refer to.
Yeah, that's it.
Cool. Thanks, guys. Thank you. Thanks a lot. See you later.
Big fella.
Thanks, mate. Ta.